Often in school, we talk about the golden rule. You know the words.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
You have also heard the golden rule at home, where you may have heard the words from the Bible this way. As ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. Or another way, as you would that men should do to you, do you also to them in like manner. But they mean the same thing. At church school, too, we often talk about the golden rule.
Do you know how to say the golden rule? Do you?
My father says it this way, do as you would be done by.
Wherever we hear the golden rule, however it is worded, we know that it means the right way to live. Wise and good men all over the world have taught ideas similar to the golden rule. In China, many centuries ago, a wise man named Confucius said, "What you do not like when done to yourself, do not do to others." And in many parts of Asia today, people remember what Confucius taught and try to live by his rule. In another part of the world, the Holy Land of Palestine, Jesus lived. He said, "As ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise." Today, people the whole world over remember what Jesus said and how he lived, and they try to live by the golden rule. There is an easy way to say the rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But just what does that mean? Let's look at the words and figure them out. Do unto others. That means simply, do for others. What do we mean by others? We mean other people, our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters. We mean our friends and our neighbors. We mean everybody, everywhere. Do for others really means do for everyone. As you would have them. That means what you would like them, everyone, to do for you. Do for everyone what you would like everyone to do for you. But wait, what you would like? How do you know what you would like? That calls for thinking. Pretty soon we'll want to see what someone is thinking, and this is the way we'll do it. Listen. We'll call this Thoughtland. And here we can see what someone is thinking. Nancy seems to be thinking that Thoughtland is a strange and wonderful place. We'll come back to Thoughtland, but right now, the chimes carry us back again into our real story. That's the way we're going to think together about the golden rule. Do for everyone what you would like everyone to do for you. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, let's think about how we can use the golden rule every day. Sally has a brand new jump rope. A jump rope is something you can have fun with all by yourself. But look, here comes Sally's friend, Jane. Now, what should Sally do? Should she hide the rope so Jane won't see it? What about showing Jane the rope and making her jealous? But no, Sally thinks about the golden rule, and she thinks, what would I want? Here we are in Thoughtland. What if Jane had a new jump rope? Sally thinks, what would I like? What would I want her to do? Why, I'd want her to share it with me. We could take turns or have fun jumping together. Now Sally knows what to do. She'll do for Jane what she would like Jane to do for her. Do you see how Sally has used the golden rule to decide what she should do? Let's try using the golden rule another time. Look, what are Chuck and Sharon doing? Is this a race? Who's going to win? Uh-oh, be careful, Sharon. Sharon, look out. Sharon isn't hurt, but she can't get up. For a moment, Chuck wants to laugh at her. But then he thinks, what would I want if this happened to me? Let's think with Chuck. If you fell down and had your feet caught so you couldn't get up, what would you like? Wouldn't you want someone to help you? So what should Chuck do? The golden rule tells him to do for Sharon what he would like Sharon to do for him. Do you see how you can use the golden rule to help you decide what to do? Try it again. Hopscotch is a game these girls enjoy. But look at Jimmy. Is he too little to play with them? Gail seems to think so. She thinks he would just get in the way. But what about the golden rule? Gail thinks, what would I want if I were the littlest one and some older children were playing? Think about it. What would you like? Is this what you would like? Is this what Gail should do for Jimmy? Do you see how thinking what you would like helps you to follow the golden rule? Now with Andy, let's try one more time to think how the golden rule helps us decide what is the right thing to do. Look what's happening. Do you see the puppy? Now, Andy has wanted a puppy for some time, and he thinks this one is mighty cute. In fact, he would like to take the puppy home with him. But Andy is thinking of the golden rule, and so are we. Let's all say it together. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What do you think Andy should do? If you had a puppy and it got out of the yard, what would you want? Wouldn't you want someone to bring it back to you? When we use the golden rule to help us find what to do, we make other people happy, and at the same time, ourselves happy too.
I don't know which hand I'm using. This is all so discombobulating, and I still don't get used to it. Hi, I'm Skip Alzheimer of AV Geeks. Thank you for joining us for lunch. And I apologize if you've seen that film before. Some films I remember showing over the last, I don't know, are we on week 7, 6? It's all just this kind of gooey blur. So I apologize if you have seen that before. It's so great. Thoughtland is really quite something. Anyways, so I collect old 16mm films and show them to folks like you. I used to do it in person. In fact, I was doing that back in February, in March. But now I'm doing it from the safety and comfort of my basement. I've digitized a bunch of these films over the years, and so we have them. Normally, I would show them live. I would actually transfer them live as we watch them, but I can't move all that heavy equipment to my home, so that's at the archive. Anyways, I offer this up as a way to spend your lunch watching something that's not current. Yesterday I showed, or over the last couple of weeks, I've been showing films where adults go up to, or strange adults go up to kids, and people immediately go to the stranger danger. So this film is Say No to Strangers from the 50s. Enjoy.
The boys and girls in this schoolyard are waiting for the first bell. This is Wendy Webb. This is her twin brother, Jamie. There's the bell. Let's go with them to their classroom. Good morning, Miss Jones.
Good morning.
Miss Jones is the teacher. The children are very fond of her, and Miss Jones likes each of the pupils. This is a day like any other day in class. Spelling, arithmetic, reading, music, and finally, it is almost time for the dismissal bell. Before the children are dismissed for the day, Miss Jones suggests that they review the safety rules they discussed yesterday. The 4 rules are:
Don't accept gifts from strangers.
how many of you can tell us why? The children know how important it is to remember these safety rules.
Don't accept rides from strangers.
Do you remember the important reasons for this?
Don't walk through dark or lonely streets.
Who can tell us why? The children realize that safe behavior is just as important as spelling and arithmetic.
Remember, the policeman is always your friend.
What are some of the ways in which he can help you? And so this school day comes to a close. Some children remain after school to play. Others are picked up by their parents or carpools. There are those who ride their bikes home. And some walk home. Wendy and Jamie live just a few blocks from the school. Unless the weather is bad, they walk to and from school every day. Sometimes there are interesting things to do or see on the way home from school. All children love puppies. Grown-ups know this and will usually let them pet or play with a puppy. They may even offer to give it to the children as a gift.
Don't accept gifts from strangers.
It is the next day. Wendy and Jamie are on their way to school, and they have occasion to remember another one of the safety rules. A lady in a beautiful car says she is going past the school and will be glad to give them a ride.
Don't accept rides from strangers.
Today is Saturday. Wendy and Jamie help their mother with the household chores. After lunch, they're free to go to the park for the afternoon. Their mother reminds them to be sure to be home before dark. Parks and playgrounds are fun. There is so much to do. And because there is so much to do, we sometimes forget how quickly the time passes. Yes, Wendy and Jamie realize they have been gone longer than they should have. They know their mother will worry if they're not home on time. And Wendy and Jamie do not want to upset their mother. Wait a minute. Jamie knows a shortcut. If they go down this street, they can save time.
Don't walk through dark or lonely streets.
That's right, children. Stay on the main street.
Remember, the policeman is always your friend.
Yes, the policeman is your friend. Always feel free to call on him for help. Wendy and Jamie have learned the safety rules. We hope you have too.
So that film was glorious. And it's interesting because it does kind of fall into that Sid Davis category. Sid Davis I talked about over the last couple of weeks. Was this filmmaker who made all the Stranger Danger films, starting with Dangerous Stranger, which he remade a couple of times, and Boys Beware, which he remade a couple of times, and Girls Beware, Strange Ones, lots and lots and lots of films. But this is not him. I'm not 100% sure of this title. It's either Say No to Strangers or Saying No to Strangers. I really should go back and look at it real quick. But this is definitely not... It's got some similarities, especially to Roscoe's Rules, which has a little mechanical bear, and it goes dink every time there is a rule that's being reinforced. But I don't know if you noticed, the music the background music is just pervasive. It's all through the entire film. It doesn't really reflect what is happening in the action. And the production, I think, is a little bit higher than your normal Sid Davis film. The colors are just stunning. And I don't know if Sid would have paid for Kodachrome. Those are some reasons that I don't think this is a Sid Davis film, but certainly, it's in that vein. It repeats a lot of things that show up in my Stranger Danger films, including Cautious Twins, which at some point I will show you. It's a wonderful animated film. Most educational films don't play music throughout the entire film. And that's what I get when I see parodies. Parodies are using that same... They're playing the background music through the entire film, and it's a little pet peeve of mine. Most educational films play an intro and an outro, and they might have some little musical phrases throughout, but it's not consistently throughout the entire thing. So I'm wondering if these people didn't make a whole lot of educational films. All right, this next film is by a favorite of mine, which is the Moody Institute of Science. Moody Institute of Science was run by the Moody Bible Institute and features Dr. Irwin Moon, who is a admitted hobby scientist who loved photography, and he loved science, and he would often use science experiments as a way to talk about the Gospels. And so he would have these things called sermons from science that he did in the 40s, 50s. And when the National Defense Education Act came into play, where we were concerned that we were lagging behind the Soviet students in math and science, a bunch of money was funneled into schools, and money was spent on educational films for science and math. Moody Science Institute edited their science films, their sermons from science, which showed beautiful footage of different natural phenomenon and different aspects of science and different experiments that they did. They edited them down to shorter classrooms length films, took out most of the mentions of Jesus, but still kind of kept some references to God, and also about morality, and also really did not like evolution. So let's see how they talk about carnivorous plants and then still kind of poke a jab at evolution at the end. Enjoy.
A pleasant memory is all that remains of a world with 1 or 2 horsepower. old Dobbin would find himself quite out of place on a fast and crowded highway. The Iron Horse was a modern marvel when Grandmother was a girl, but now... Today, cameras and rockets 100 miles above the Earth are giving us a glimpse of what the passenger of tomorrow may consider commonplace. Well, this certainly is an age of progress, isn't it? There's been more of scientific discovery, more of technical advancement and material progress in your lifetime and mine than in all the ages of history. Invention has become the symbol of the age. And the mousetrap could well be the symbol of invention. What father hasn't said to his offspring, son, build a better mousetrap and the world will be the pathway to your door? And the sons have been busy doing just that, thinking, planning, working, and they've built their better mousetraps. For man has discovered a lot of things. And yet, perhaps the most embarrassing discovery is the fact that regardless of what man may invent or devise, nature had it first. Traps? Why, there are literally millions of them. Far more wonderful and complex than anything man has ever thought of. The similarity between a Venus flytrap and a bear trap is quite remarkable, isn't it? The general appearance, the teeth, the action. Now, the bear trap has a trigger right there. And if that trigger is pushed... Now, the Venus flytrap has a trigger also. In fact, it has 6 of them. 3 on each side. But there's a difference. The bear trap doesn't know a bear from a piece of wood, but the Venus flytrap does. You see, to touch the trigger hair just once is not enough. Nothing happens. But if we touch the trigger hairs more than once, and at just the right intervals, the trap is sprung. You see, no energy is wasted on a twig or a leaf that might fall into the trap. But even more amazing is how those trigger hairs work. There is actually a flow of electrical current from those tiny trigger hairs to the apex of the plant. And when anything touches them, the flow of current is interrupted. A correct number of these negative impulses will cause the trap to spring. If the insect struggles to get away, more pulses cause the trap to close even tighter. Man may have thought he built a better mousetrap, but he's never built one like this. Why, the trap is also a stomach. The animal will soon be digested by the plant, and in a few days, the Venus flytrap will be open for business again. Now, that action of the jaws snapping shut, it can take place in a 25th of a second. It can even catch flies. And yet the plant is completely devoid of muscle tissue. That flow of electric current, we know it's there. And yet the plant has no nervous system. How does it happen? Someday we'll know. The plant life of North America's bogs and swamps reveals that a master craftsman has laid out with intricate design a variety of traps to serve the needs of nature. Some of the traps are passive. The trumpet plant, for example, is a type of pitfall. It's composed of a long, slender tube which will average from 18 to 24 inches in length. Down inside the tube are tiny glands that produce a nectar, and the nectar serves to attract the insects. The cobra plant is another type of pitfall, and like all the others, it may be passive, but it's very effective. The hood of the plant is a maze of tiny windows. These appear to the trapped insects to be a way of escape. In a frustrated attempt for freedom, a false step usually occurs, and the insect adds to the daily mineral requirements of a carnivorous plant. Yet another type of pitfall is the pitcher plant. The shape of the leaves is responsible for its name. The leaves actually grow in such a manner that they form pitchers. Pitchers that are 6 to 8 inches deep and as much as 1 to 2 inches wide. Most of the pitfalls simply allow the prey to follow the line of least resistance. Getting out, however, is an entirely different matter. The tiny hairs on the welcome mat suddenly become spears that surround a prison. When an insect topples in, a pool of death awaits below. The liquid will put him to sleep and then digest him. The traps always eat what they catch. Beautiful, isn't it? But these are not flowers. They're leaves of the sundew plant, nature's own brand of flypaper, and they're covered with bright red hairs. The glands that manufacture the sticky secretion are located at the ends of these hairs, and it is through these same glands that the food is assimilated by the body of the plant.
Talk about your traps. This is a working model of one of the most fantastic traps ever built. Now the prey approaches, triggers the mechanism, this trap even resets itself. Now, can you imagine building all of this complicated mechanism into a trap the size of the head of this pin? God did it. The plant itself, the utricularia, lives beneath the surface of the water. Each of the small globular objects is a trap, much more complicated than our working model. The trap itself is so tiny that it will take a microscope to see it work. But if we're fortunate, we can actually see the plant trap tiny animals. Notice the guide hairs and the 3 small trigger hairs. Now, don't blink your eyes. You're liable to miss the catch. This little animal doesn't know which way to go, and he's just the kind of a fellow utricularia likes to have around. Did you see it? Well, I told you not to blink. You see, the catch is actually made in a 50th of a second. Now watch closely this time.
When the trigger hairs are bent, the trap is sprung. And when an animal gets sucked inside, eventually he succumbs and is digested. Even the utricularia sometimes overeats. When we see such a complex mechanism as this, and remember it's no larger than the head of a pin, man's best traps look strangely cold and ineffective by comparison. Man's progress has not been due to discovery of new things, but merely to the uncovering of principles and devices that God ordained in nature.
Sorry about that. I was having a conversation with somebody who wanted to know whether or not we had Venus flytraps where I'm located. And in Raleigh, no. But if you go to the coast, there's a certain area, I think maybe it's around Wilmington, which is about 2.5 hours, 3 hours away. I think to actually get to where the Venus flytraps are, it's a little difficult. But yes. So that's Dr. Irwin Moon, Dr. Moon has his doctorate in religious studies, not science, not medical. It's religious studies. And his stuff is so great. I mean, there's always that, like I said, that little jab about evolution, but really beautiful photography and interesting ideas, and I think it inspired a whole generation of scientists. At some point in my life, I will write a book or do a documentary about the 3 men of science that got people excited about being scientists. It's Dr. Moon, Dr. Frank Baxter from the Bell Science series, and Mr. Wizard, who did a TV show. And none of those men were scientists at all. They all just liked science, or they were tapped to talk about science. But they influenced a lot of people to think about science because their stuff was shown on television and shown in schools and shown in other places, in church, things like that. Anyhow, one of the things I love about collecting 16mm films... Oh, before I start about that, I just wanted to say I got some shout-outs. I really appreciate that. The fine film folks at MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art in New York, listed AV Geeks, this streaming event, on their list of movies that you've never seen. And so thank you so much for that mention, if you guys are tuning in. Also, local television, they did a little piece on me. We did it remotely, and they talked about what we were doing. And so that was really great to get those kind of nods, especially MoMA, man. MoMA's awesome. Anyways, so one of the reasons I like collecting 16mm films is because I find little niche films. Most of the stuff I got from schools or from government agencies that were dumping their collections, but occasionally I would get something on eBay. And this was something I got on eBay, and it's a industrial film promoting the company that makes industrial films. So this is a glorious film that has lots of interesting footage. It's called Movie Maker's Movie. Enjoy.
Industrial and commercial motion pictures were, in their infancy, readily accepted by the average viewer. The magic contained was a new dimension, motion. Quality was not an issue. Then came the television bonanza. Viewers were too intrigued by the miracle of television itself to be concerned with quality. Increased exposure resulted in more opportunities for comparison. Tastes became increasingly sophisticated and critical. The demand for improved quality was not limited to television alone. Indirectly, television viewing was serving as a training ground for countless buyers, users, and audiences of industrial and commercial motion pictures. And as a result, quality standards for industrial film production were finally being recognized. Movie Makers Incorporated of Cleveland, Ohio, producers of industrial, commercial, and medical motion pictures, are presenting this sample film in support of their quality-oriented philosophy. The intent is to demonstrate professional quality motion pictures filmed under extremely varied conditions. The abbreviated scenes represent more than 40 motion pictures. Some are scenes from television commercials. Most are from industrial and commercial presentations. Projection time of the original presentations from which these clips were taken range from 30 seconds to 30 minutes. Most of the original films were complemented by on-camera talent or voice-over narration, many with music or sound effects. A few silent films utilizing various methods of titling were employed. Each presentation was tailored and directed to a specific audience with a definite communication purpose. The principals who form the nucleus of movie makers have spent a combined total of more than 40 years associated with the motion picture industry. The knowledge gained from this association has been exciting and rewarding. Rewarding in the experience logged with years of production services, coordination, set design, cinematography, lighting, editorial, whatever. No less important have been the years spent with laboratories and sound recording studios, working with meaningful terms of densitometry and quality control, terms as common as strips, wedges, gamma, and curves. Add the mechanics of timing, processing and printing, dubbing, transfers, mixing, scoring, multi-track recording, optical transfers, and you have a good foundation. What does it all add up to? What does it all mean? Simply this. Movie makers have the background, the experience, and the understanding to produce professional motion pictures with a total quality concept. Movie makers have purposely elected to remain small and flexible, unencumbered with high overhead of staff and facilities. This fact alone has enabled movie makers to remain extremely competitive on all budgets submitted to all size companies, large and small, and still retain quality. Movie makers maintain an 1,800 square foot sound studio for a controlled filming environment when needed. These facilities are utilized for set construction, product displays, artwork, title photography, and limited animation. Movie makers have designed and built several mechanical aids for title presentations. These effects include spins, crawls, wipes, and zooms, or a combination of any two, utilizing both front and rear illumination. Set construction of any reasonable size is available. Movie makers are proud of the reputation they have earned in the industrial field, and equally proud of the progressive companies they serve. Because of a close working relationship with these companies, movie makers have learned firsthand that there are many advantages to be gained by the use of motion pictures. One of these advantages is control. Your message will be told time after time, exactly as you know it should be told, just as you have carefully arranged it and checked it in advance. It will be told accurately, with uniform efficiency, for the sound motion picture never tires, never gets off the track, never overlooks a single point. No method of telling a story, your story, so compels attention as the projected lighted picture. To this motion picture add voices, music, sound effects, and scientific tests have proven that this double appeal to eye and ear to be 5 times as effective as either appeal singly. Your message can be dramatized to any desired degree, making for a story which is more interesting, more convincing. Because of the sound motion picture's innate appeal, and because distracting elements are removed, your entire message receives the undivided attention of the audience. Your idea is multiplied as often as necessary. The message can be delivered simultaneously in 1 or 100 places, as desired. With sound motion pictures, anyone can present your message anywhere, at any time of the day or night, simply and with uniformly effective results. They can work for you anywhere in the world for the cost of mailing a reel of film. In addition to the many other advantages, the sound motion picture enables you to transmit your ideas at a lower cost per message. Contrary to many opinions, movie makers have repeatedly proven that the use of motion pictures need not be expensive. Advanced projection systems, both silent or sound, enable modern progressive industries to use motion pictures for individual concepts, product or machinery demonstration, single ideas, unit training. Yes, endless possibilities at a surprisingly low cost. Movies don't just communicate. They're an environment. They have an impact that can make it through all the barriers and get your message to that inside man. Added to your present media mix, movies give new depth to your communications resources. They enhance your problem-solving ability. They let you get more out of your media dollars by letting you allocate each tool to the job it does best. Used as part of a comprehensive communications program, movies can help ensure that your message is noticed, heard, and acted on. Movie makers wish to express their appreciation for this opportunity to tell their story. Sooner or later, possibly next week, next month, or even next year, whenever the time comes for you to consider the use of motion pictures in any area, whether it be sales, product demonstration, marketing, process simplification, training, or public relations, in short, a need to communicate, movie makers would like to make only one request. Don't make a move or a movie without us.
Such a great film. Somebody commented that obviously I love this film because of all the assembly line footage. There's a term that I don't know if I came up with it or it was some of us collectors. We call it assembly line porn. It's not actual pornography. It is actually gratuitous close-up shots of manufacturing processes with weird music. So it is very porn-like in that it's not really concerned about the product and more about the manufacturing process of that product. I used to watch, as an adult, a bunch of reruns of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and once a week at least they would visit a factory in the United States, and they would show how something was being made. Really fascinating. All right, so this next film is also about manufacturing, and is also about food. You know, like I always try to show something that's food related because it is lunch for some of us, although it might be dinner for some people tuning in. This film is about manufacturing dog food and just regular people food, and is about quality control and about being aware of the manufacturing process and how things can get introduced into them, causing harm to your customers. And it's super dramatic, super melodramatic. So here's Purely Coincidental.
The characters, places, and events portrayed in this motion picture are fictional. Any similarity to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Allison, don't forget to drink your juice.
something on.
Now, you heard me.
Bye-bye, everybody. I'm on my way.
Bye, honey.
Bye, sweetheart.
Oh, honey, don't forget to buy some charcoal for tonight, okay?
Okay.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye. How was your weekend?
Not bad. Went to the Packers game. They pulled it out in the last minute. How about you?
Kind of quiet. I did some work around the house Saturday. And, Sunday, Marcia and I took Allison to the park. You know, that kid is really something else. She brought this sculptor home from school, you know, one of those clay things, and it was really terrific. So I said, honey, that is a great-looking dog. She says, no, Daddy, it's an elephant.
Hey, sounds like your kid's got a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I want to stop by Sorensen's on the way home tonight. I got to pick up some charcoal. And I want to take a look at that 12 gauge he's got. I'd love to have that with me on our hunting trip.
Yeah, only 2 more weeks to go and we'll be on our way. Boy, I can hardly wait.
Hey, nice going, Jimmy. Beautiful.
And that Duke of Monte went right to it. So I knew we were in the money. Then this guy, Richard's dog, he goes out. You know, he's the guy who's always blowing off about this dog of his. Well, about 50 yards out, he spots a rabbit. He takes right off after him. Oh, jeez, was he mad. Thought he was going to have a stroke.
Hey, what's the rush? You're going to get picked up.
Yeah, that's all I'd need. I got a call about 4 o'clock this morning from the plant. Packaging machine is down. Oh, I hope they got it going by now.
Yeah, well, it's all right with me. I wouldn't know what to do with the stuff if I had it. I haven't got any cars to ship it in. I had to reject 10 of them Friday. Oh, they were all beat up, filthy.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a long day for all of us, including the Bears. Did you see him give that game away to the Packers yesterday?
Hi, Frank. Morning, John. Sure had a rough night. Number 3 packaging machine's still down.
Oh, no, I was afraid of that. How much longer?
Well, they said it'll only be a little while.
What happened?
Broken cam.
Broken can.
That's twice this year. I wonder what would cause that. I told them to give me a call when they're ready.
The last time this happened, we lost over 1,000 cases.
I got some more bad news for you. Smitty called, said he'd be 2 hours late. I'm way ahead of you, though. I got one of my guys to stay until Smitty gets there.
Hey, thanks, Frank. I owe you one. I think I'll take a look. I'll see you in the morning.
See you, John.
Well, we just got line number 3 going again.
You want to send one of your guys down to take a look?
Okay, we'll do that
Good.
right now.
Here, Duke. Come on. Come on. There you go. That's good stuff. Duke? 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 Come on, get off, Duke. Get off, Duke.
John, come over the door and mix number 1. Come on, quick.
Oh, you know better than that. Get that mess cleaned up.
What do you say?
Yes, Mrs. Phelps, I know she was perfectly normal this morning, but well, right now she's running a fever. She's got cramps. Now, I think you should come and get her and put her right to bed. No. Well, no, I really think you should call your doctor. I don't really know what it is, but she's pretty sick.
Harry Phelps, telephone. Harry Phelps, telephone.
Yeah, this is Harry Phelps. Yeah. Hey, hi, honey.
Harry, Allison is very sick. We're at the hospital now, and, they're pumping her stomach.
I'll be right there.
Hi, honey. Where is she? Is she gonna be all right? What's happening?
Well, they said that, it was something that she ate, and that it was food poisoning.
Food? What the hell does that mean? Food poisoning? Well, what can we do?
Well, they're in there with her now, and they're pumping her stomach.
Honey, take it easy.
They said that we could just wait.
Take it easy, huh?
She's such a baby. She's so little. I don't know what to do.
She'll be all right, honey. Don't worry.
I'm so glad you're here, Harry. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, Allison.
How you doing?
I got here as quick as I could, honey.
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. Because Daddy's here.
Don't worry, sweetheart. You're gonna be all right.
Sure she is.
Please, God.
I'm sorry, you'll have to stop here. I'll call you.
I will wait for you.
Easy, baby. She's gonna be all right. Don't worry. Don't worry. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. God. Who did this to our little girl?
This vat looks terrible. Come on, George. Would you want your kids to eat out of that? almost quitting time. I'll get it tomorrow. Boy, am I glad today's over.
Yeah, me too.
I'm getting out of here before anything else goes wrong.
John Miller, come to the office. John Miller.
I left 5 minutes ago. Duke! 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 Where's Duke?
I don't know how to tell you this.
Tell me what?
I tried to call you, but,
Tell me what?
well, it's about Duke.
Well, what about Duke?
Oh, well, after you went to work this morning, I fed him like I usually do. And
Judy, what's the matter with Duke?
Duke's gone.
What?
He's dead.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
Judy, no. Please. Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
The vet said it was probably something in his food.
Something in his food? What'd you do? Give him some new kind of garbage?
No, I fed him the same thing we've always fed him. I went out for about an hour, and when I came back, he was just lying there, just lying there.
I don't believe it. It just isn't possible.
I called the vet, and he said to bring him over. John, I couldn't even lift him, so I called the vet back, and he was here in 20 minutes.
Well, what did he say? Huh? What could kill him? Yeah, hello? Yeah, Doc, we were just trying to figure out. You found what? How would he get something like that in his food? You mean to tell me that he could swallow something like that? Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Somebody's gonna pay for this.
Yeah, that's what the doc said. Food poisoning. Is that unreal? Some companies just don't care what goes on in their plants. I wonder how those guys would like it if one of their kids got sick. They probably don't let their own product in the house. We take more care with this stuff than some guys do with food. I've heard some stories you wouldn't believe.
You wouldn't believe it. What they found in his stomach. Now, the vet said it was something he swallowed. In his food. What a way to go. We better get going. You want to check that dough mixer? We've been having trouble with it.
Sure thing. Right after I wash up. See you later.
You know, even Ellison's doctor didn't know where she got it. Food poisoning. Could have been anything she ate. Some guy not being careful. They just don't understand how important the little things really are.
I understand the FDA is really starting to put the heat on these food companies, and I'm all for it. They ought to really come down hard on those clowns.
You know, we had to shut down one of our lines for an hour yesterday because the stuff didn't look like it was supposed to. And this is dog food.
Oh, you take a right here.
Boy, I can't wait to try out this new 12 gauge. See how it feels.
Probably not too good the way you shoot.
My shooting is going to be all right. It's this dog of yours I'm worried about.
Don't worry about the dog. He'll be just fine. Why don't you take him in and get us a couple of beers, and I'll get us a good blind for tomorrow.
That's quite a dog you got there.
Yeah. Belongs to a friend of mine. Hey, bartender, when you get a chance, could I have a couple of beers, please?
Coming up. Yeah, it makes me feel kind of sad. I had a lab just like that big guy. He was killed. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, he died. You should have seen what they found in his stomach.
You know, it's funny. My little girl is just getting over a case of food poisoning. Thank God nothing went wrong. She's coming along pretty good.
You know, I don't understand it. With all the money they can spend on research, you think they'd find a way.
Yeah, yeah. Some guys just don't give a damn. 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 Give a damn.
Boy, ain't that the truth. 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 Bartender, this one's on me.
Hey, Mike, come on in. I want you to meet a friend of mine.
The characters, places, and events portrayed in this motion picture were fictional. Any similarity to real persons living or dead was purely coincidental. Maybe.
Okay, I'm sorry. There is a line, an invisible line, and that film crossed it for a couple of reasons. So I apologize. I do not think that dog was dead. God, I hope not. That would be horrible. Anyways, yeah, I apologize. Also, someone said that they felt like I had shown this recently. I don't think I did, but if I did, I apologize for that too. But given the amount of hackles raised by showing that film, I think I would have remembered. Anyways, I love the film for many reasons. And what's interesting is for a long time, anytime there was some sort of E. coli or salmonella breakout in the food industry, people would order copies of that film on disc. And people who worked at factories would bring this in as a way to kind of send the message that it was important to be clean and to keep the line of food, whether it was for people or animals, to keep it clean and free of metal debris. All right. Sorry. Anyways, I should say that I'm going to be on a podcast tonight with the 50th Street Studio. It's at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I'll put a link in the comments. The person who does it is a longtime fan and actually interviewed me in my space. So that's an opportunity to see where me in my natural element. All right, I can't leave you. I feel so bad about Purely Coincidental. Kind of not really, but no, I do. I think it's a really great film. But yes, it is super provocative. I'm going to leave you with some Jonathan Winters, Selling You Carpet. If you like what you saw, go to avgeeks.com. You can watch more of the films here. Also, you can see all the back archived streaming events that we've done. If you also can buy DVDs there. Also, Patreon is a place you can donate. And we will spend that money on, I don't know, I might start buying stuff on eBay again. We'll see how I'm feeling. Thanks again for tuning in. I very much enjoy showing these films to you in your comments and putting eyeballs on it. We did some experimenting today. We actually broadcast on Periscope. And I think one person looked at it. So we're slowly expanding what we're doing too. So anyways, here's Jonathan Winters. Enjoy.
On behalf of the Allied Chemical Corporation, I welcome you. We're here to talk about carpets of Caprolane nylon. The product, the customers, and you, the people who sell. How you sell determines how much you sell. A man who sat where you're sitting once got that message, went back to his showroom, applied what he had learned, and now he's rich. As rich as a Caprolane color, as secure as a Caprolane fiber. But why not let him tell you about it?
Hi, guys. Won't you come into my parlor? Why, we'll be as snug as a bug in a rug. Caprolane, of course. That's a little carpet funny. Oh. How do you like my kitty, guys? Isn't he precious? How still he lies. I got him all the way from India. He came in a little tiny box. Then I let him out, and he got out of hand, and I stepped on him and crushed him and made a kind of a throw mat out of him. You wouldn't think it to look at me, but I used to be a $97 weekling. I was the lost, lonely salesman, searching for the right product, always disappointed. You know how those things are. Oh, they all look good at first, but you never really know a carpet until you live with it. Then one day I saw her. It was chemistry, Allied, of course. There she was, right there. What color, what strength. The way she sprang back after people had walked all over her. I knew this was a carpet that a man could raise a family on. I started to work for Caprolane, and then it happened. Orders, orders, orders. I never saw so many, I'm not kidding. And she worked right along with me, side by side, share and share alike, in sickness and in health, for richer or poor. But as you can see, with your own envious salesman eyes, listen, guys, they're too much. I can see you. Can you see me? It's very little poor and oodles of rich. Well, after 6 months, I retired at the age of 22, believe it or not. From rugs to riches, I call it. And listen, you silly savages, if you've paid attention and listened to me, you can have the same wonderful goodies that I had. And this delightful girl, isn't she too much? Cappy. Caprolane. She's beautiful. And how about my kitty? Isn't he sweet? Growl, you little devil. Say something. Don't just lie there flatty-like. I've got to retire and catch some Z's now.
The story of the success of a Caprolane salesman begins with a product. A carpet of Caprolane nylon. It carries the gold label, and it's made only by the finest carpet mills. The rest of the success story of a Caprolane salesman can be summed up this way. Know, show, grow. Know your product. Show it off to good advantage. Watch your profits grow. Now, as in every other business, Caprolane customers fall into two basic groups, men and women. Let's meet some of them.
Come on, Henry. Now, here's the Caprolane showroom. Now, come on, Henry. You're going to thank me for this. Wait till you see how we look. Right, young man?
I'm not kidding. Yes, ma'am. We have Caprolane carpets for every purpose. Beautiful, deep-dyed color, luxurious texture, unusual designs. A welcome addition to any home.
See, Henry?
Oh, don't, Margaret. But kidding. I'm a little puzzled. Aren't you the same couple that was in here last week and bought Caprolane for every room in your home? Why, you even bought them for the front and back walks. Is anything wrong?
Oh, no. We love every square yard of it, don't we, Henry?
Well, we certainly did. Margaret, I've told you to keep your hand off my arm.
But I don't understand. Are you buying Caprolane carpets to put on your carpets to protect them? As beautiful as they are, we want you to walk on them. Caprolane is made for heavy use.
Oh, I know that, silly. Tell him, Henry.
We know
Henry, tell him.
Well,
Very well said, Henry. Now, can you help us, young man?
Yes, of course, ma'am, we can help you. Do what?
Well, I want you to make a suit of Caprolane for Henry.
A suit?
Yes, I think every woman's husband should look as nice as her floor. Don't you agree, Henry, huh?
Oh, Margaret, please. Last year it was double-breasted satin draperies. Hey, buddy, do I get the extra pairs of pants?
Yes, the sales keep rolling in for Caprolane, and for good reason. Caprolane delivers what the customers want. Capralan and the Capralan Gold label stand for excellence. And Capralan's performance, its unsurpassed wearability and cleanability make you look good after the sale is made too. Returning now to our salesman, we find him still proud of the sale he just made.
Another happy customer, another triumph for effective, tasteful, poised salesmanship.
Pinky Bixford's the name, and promotion's my game. You want bigger sales? I'll give you bigger sales.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bixford, but Capralan has given much thought to its sales campaign, and we think,
Think big.
we think...
Think rug. This is a country of rugged individuals, my friend, and if they're going to be rugged by anybody, it might as well be you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bixford, but I don't think...
There, you said it. Why, man, when I think about wall-to-wall carpeting, I think wall-to-wall. The Berlin Wall to the Great Wall of China. Now, that's an order. And how about United States Highway number 1 laying out there all uncovered, getting scuffed and scratched? Ride Capralan all the way. Baby, you've been overlooking some great bets. What are you fellas doing at those planning boards anyway? Now listen, how about this? Carpeting on the underside of every airplane wing. Get it? Look up to Capralan. And we'll cover Lake Erie so people can walk to Canada without a wet toe in the crowd. And how about the infield at Yankee Stadium? No bad bounces on Capralan. And I've been saving this one for you, sweetheart. The boardwalk at Atlantic City. And the beach. And all the beaches. From Maine to Florida. Get it? Get a tan on Capralan. You hear me, Big Daddy? Binky Bixford's playing you the money tune on the Golden Horn. Now get with it, buddy boy. Put a feather in your Capralan. We're ready to move. You just say the word.
Okay, I'll say the word. Out! Out!
He's definitely not a fun guy, is he?
You no doubt have found that you have to start setting up a sale by talking about color. A survey by the American Carpet Institute shows that 85% of women choosing carpet are more influenced by color than by any other factor. And here's where selling deep-dyed carpets by Capralan nylon becomes easier than selling any other carpet. Capralan fibers start out whiter than other fibers, and they dye deeper. Most other fibers are just coated with dye, but with Capralan, color goes deep down into the fiber itself, which is why we call Capralan the more colorful nylon, deep dyed for extra beauty. But there are other offbeat questions that are more difficult. We conducted a survey in local showrooms to find the puzzling questions and situations which arise most frequently. And then we invited one of our senior salesmen to answer them.
Hi, this is Gabe Tonkler, your Capralan survey reporter. We're here in a Capralan showroom, and we're going to talk to one of the grand old men of carpetum, Dennis Dew. Hi, Mr. Dew.
Hi, Gabe.
Mr. Dew, I wonder if you'd mind answering a few ticklish problems that come up in selling carpets.
Anything you want to say, shoot.
All right, Gabe, here's the first question. No, that's my name, isn't it, Gabe? I'm sorry about that. Dennis, is there any difference between men and women as customers?
I'd say, buddy, if you don't know the difference between men and women, you're in trouble, regardless of the customer jazz.
I see. Well, you have a good point there. Where did you get your training as a rug salesman, Dennis?
Oh, I just hung around the carpet guys, and I love to kind of roll on the carpets and talk with them. I love the designs, the lovely colors of Capralan. Man, oh man,
Mr. Dew.
Capralan.
Mr. Dew, try and control yourself, will you?
Don't touch me.
I'm sorry.
Unless you love me.
Do you believe in premarital carpet buying?
What? Premarital carpet buying? Oh, I certainly do. If it's confined to the rec room, where they can just play and jump and act silly and, you know.
How do you handle dogs that track up a carpet?
I nail their paws to the floor.
Should a newly married couple get carpets or furniture first?
I don't know. It's a fun game either way you look at it. Yeah. It's more fun with Capralan. You lie there and kind of roll around and giggle and then slip a little ring on their finger. Aye, they wed, and now to bed.
When you're bothered by competitive salesmen, what do you do to them? How do you handle them?
Drop them like a bad habit. Sink one right in them. And then go to the church of my choice.
What do you do with the money you earn here?
Well, I think that is a little personal. I date Margaret Sepperton. She's in China. Not in China, but in the China department.
Oh, I see.
I put my Capralan rug on the floor, and then she puts her dishes, and we have some tea, and we kiss hard.
That's what you do with the money.
Oh, yeah.
I see. Well, one last question, sir. How long will a carpet of Capralan nylon last?
A lot longer than you will.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Thank you very much.
You have a handshake like a wet armadillo.
Thank you, Dennis Dew, senior salesman, grand old man of Carpetum. Thank you for advancing each Capralan salesman a few more steps towards the knowledge and know-how that is our goal. Well, once more, let's move to the local showroom and watch a new man, a real freshman, take his first firm steps toward that goal.
I love you. I love you. Now, I've got to remember what they taught me. A big, cheerful hello. Confident air, sincere interest. Save customer time and money. No promises you can't keep. It's the Capralan way. Well, I'm ready.
Hello.
Sorry she has to circle the field, folks, but we're a little stacked up today.
I was told you could help me.
Well, I'll do what I can.
I don't know anything, so you'll have to show me everything.
Well, ask me anything. I'm an expert.
I need carpet. Lots of carpet. You see, I have a friend, a very close friend, who likes to run around the house barefoot.
Oh? Well, Capralan has any number of fast colors.
Good, because he's a fast runner.
Well, any particular color in mind?
Match my eyes.
Oh.
You're writing without your pad and pencil.
Oh, so
And I want the texture to feel like this.
Oh? I'd like a carpet like that myself.
Well, I guess that's all.
Oh, wait. What about your bird cage?
Oh, thank you. I never would have thought of that.
What about your bathtub?
Oh, good. Make it beige. I love to bathe in beige.
You know, you're a lady that should have carpeting everywhere. In the living room, bedroom, a bathtub and ceiling, the walls, the garage, outside in the lawn, even in the swimming pool.
More. There's one thing I must ask you. What I want to ask you, baby, is, am I getting these wholesale?
Well, And to think that I've only been with Capralan for a month now. Huh?
I think you get the idea. You can have fun selling Capralan this season, and we're going to have fun helping you in every way. We top the field in what we know, how we show, and so we grow. So get out there and meet your customers.
Well, that's right, Byron.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. But seriously for a moment, a great market deserves a great product. America is the greatest market, and we know that Capralan is a great product. So come on, guys. Let's roll out that carpet and make sure it's Capralan.
So at the end there was evidence of film damage. Basically, the film was beginning to curl. The color is what they call was breathing, so that you saw that weird going from red to orangish to greenish to, and it began to roll a little bit. And so the little towards the hub is when the film began to deteriorate. But we got some good Jonathan Winters in there. This film was definitely not made for the general public to watch. This film was made for salesmen. This was to introduce the product. I mean, the title is From Rugs to Riches. Is the idea is that here's the product that you're going to make a large commission off of, or make a lot of money off of selling. And so the reason I know that also is that the humor is a little racy, a little controversial, and that's what you wanted to get. It's very sexy, of course. Salesmen, they want salesmen to keep their attention and get them excited about the product. And one way to do that is to make it sexy and make it funny. And Jonathan Winters, certainly a talent. The thing when he plays the old salesman is probably my favorite part. It's just ludicrous. Anyways, thanks so much for coming out, enjoying what we're showing, and join us again tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Again, I am doing a interview on a podcast that I posted. I think I posted it. I'll make sure that it's on both YouTube and Facebook. And that actually has an interview with me at the archive. So you get to see the archive a little bit and get a sense of where I'm not right now, but where I was. So hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care.